Drop the point. Drop the point. Drop the point. Drop the point. No Xero Hambone gonna drop the point. Drop the point. No Xero Hambone. What is the point? Drop the point.
Hello world and welcome back to another episode of Drop the Point. I am Hambone and I am not joined by Xero on this fine evening. I'm actually sitting here with TwoLoudTx. What up, TwoLoud?
What up, bro? How you doing, man? It's good to be here with you.
Oh man, it is outstanding to have you. Xero had some internet connectivity issues, so you have stepped in his place, and we thank you for it.
Well, of course, man. I mean, who else? You got to fill in Xero's shoes than the man that knows him best, right?
Absolutely. I'm wondering how loud this recording is going to be, But here we are back at episode 6. I just want to get a couple formalities out of the way. If you want to submit a question, you can email that to onpoints@aimassistgaming.com, or you can follow us on Twitter @aimassistgaming, and you can send us your questions. But let's go ahead and jump right in for the day. Our first question is coming from B Animal on our Patreon GroupMe, and he wants to know, what are your thoughts on how clans could be utilized better within Destiny, not just as a resource on the website?
Well, I mean, dude, there's so many things that I think people were hoping clans could see whenever Destiny came out. Because they looked at other MMOs and the way clans are being used, whether it be in big battles like WoW, where
Right.
or in larger size raids like WoW has. But for me, obviously there's obviously the normal answer, I think, and obvious answer most people would say is and the Crucible, right? And that you could use, bring in and bring more people together and do battles in the Crucible and everything else. But definitely, I think the biggest thing is, if you've been around Destiny since day one, like I mentioned last week on the show, I was part of Dads of Destiny when we first started. Obviously, our podcast, our the birth of Aim Assist Gaming came from our relationship, which we were both part of Dads of Destiny. And
Absolutely.
so I think one thing that's kind of discouraging is that no one goes to BNet anymore. I mean, at all. Well, some might say, well, BNet is for World of Warcraft. And I'm talking about obviously Bungie.net, referring here as
Right.
BNet. But the thing here is no one goes there. And originally I was going to that website every day before the game came out, spending hours on the forums and talking about stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I would call Xero and be like, dude, you got to get on. You got to see this post. You got to comment about this stuff. You got to see the cool things the community's doing inside. And for me personally, obviously we do a lot of stuff here at Aim Assist Gaming on our show and trying to create content, like Drop the Point, for instance. But
right.
we don't really, we have the GroupMe chat where a lot of clans have moved to GroupMe, and they've moved to this chat, because number one, the chatting as a party on, Bungie.net is, or using the app is not very efficient, to say it nicely.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people, but they've got to figure out a way to draw us in back to Bungie.net to be able to use it efficiently. We had Deej on with Pope Bear back in the day, I think, around episode 30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And, one of the things they talked about was when you outgrow Bungie.net. So, maybe they don't want to have more clans, as they get bigger interact. Maybe it's just for the smaller clan base, but there's a ton of small clans out there. And I'd be interested to know how many of those clans use that site for talking amongst themselves and actually, communicating to their clans in. But for me, I think it would be really cool to see something like, these monthly targets or whatever, bounties per se, that Bungie puts out, and you see where clans you end up on a leaderboard. Hey, how many
Mm-hmm.
Vault of Glass runs can your clan do this month? Not even a competitive thing, like not the fastest, not the best, not the
Mm-hmm.
most efficient, but like simply how many can your clan do this month? If you have, and maybe they
Right.
say, hey, clans that are 25 people and under qualify in this round, and here's the top 10 that did it, with 25 or more people or less people,
Mm-hmm.
and here's 50, like just something cool that would keep us entertained, and maybe even keep us going to their site to look at these type of statistics, right? And they can put out, hey, Savvy did 550 runs of Crota this week, right? I mean,
That sounds about
yeah,
accurate too.
it probably is, knowing some of the guys over there. But yeah, I mean, of course, Dark probably runs it that many times by himself trying to solo it.
Right, by himself.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
so
soloed it that many times.
so it's not a
Yeah.
but things like that, like not even competitive things, things that
Mm-hmm.
are like goals or bounties or whatever they want to call them. That would be like, hey, and how cool would it be, dude, if in the tower or on the reef or somewhere for that month, if you were one of the top 10 clans, it was posted somewhere on like a banner in the tower. Think about Invigorate. How cool would it be? Like they're the first, and there's this place in the tower where, until the next raid comes out, like they have this flag for like world's first, right?
Right.
Like how cool would that be? I mean, that would be so
No, that would be
awesome
sick, dude.
to
And
see
it would
that.
it would be like high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, in high school, oh, my high school went and did state championships in 92.
Right.
Or whenever the year was that it happened. I think that would be great. For me, I think with the clan support in the game, I would have to say being able to find them on your friends list. Like, if you hit your L1, if you're on PlayStation, it goes to your roster. It shows you who's online, but I would love a section that was specific to Savvy
Right.
or whatever your clan is, so that you could easily find the people in your clan who are online and looking for activities. I think they really missed the ball with that one because it's on BNet, but it's not in game. So anything else in terms of clan support you can think of that you would like to see in game? Like I said, I'd love to see a roster specific slot for clanmates. Other than that, I think TwoLoud covered it. Like, clan activities in game, bounties, raids, whatever, leaderboards, all those type of things I think would make that fantastic. Anything else you want to touch on?
Even to the bounty effect, what if they had a bounty that you picked up that was a clan bounty? So like, hey, Hambone, you can't get on very much this month, or this week per se. So hey, we're gonna work towards this. We can help fill the spot of maybe where a clanmate couldn't help to fill that out, but that week you get that bounty for them, and maybe it works points up to like some ultimate seasonal thing. Maybe they create a season out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
that'd
like
be cool.
you create these, and how many people finish the clan bounties, and if you get to the clan bounties, and at the end, I mean, give us a shader or whatever. I mean, you could do it for every quarter of or the year. A 3-month period, and it's a clan thing, and see how people are interested in it.
Uh-oh. You're sounding like Nostradamus Jr. over there with some of those suggestions.
No, baby, I'm too loud. I'm too loud.
Too loud. TwoLoud making his name. He said he's a prophet out here. So our next question is coming from Dubhead, and he wants to know, do you think we will ever get alliance-style battles with multiple fire teams joining together in raids? That's a loaded one. What do you think, TwoLoud?
So, well, when you first posed this question to me when I was driving home here at 3:00 in the morning, getting off of work for some ridiculous reason, we'll go into that later on. But at first I was like, okay, I had to say this to myself. And for those out there, like alliance style battles, what is that? So here's the deal: you might be part of Bungie.net and be part of a clan, but you might not know what the alliances are. So the alliances are basically a coverage like Guardian Radio is an alliance, for instance. And Guardian Radio can have a lot of clans underneath that alliance. Dads of Destiny, it's an alliance. They have a lot of clans underneath the alliance. So basically this is saying, can maybe you have multiple clans get together and, joining fire teams together in raids. So Nostradamus said this best a few weeks ago was, there'll never be these large 30-person team raids. I don't think they'll be possible because how the game is structured. I think it's the raids are a more intimate thing with like 6 people, and maybe they'll do like a 9-party or 8-party something later on.
So wait, what if it wasn't a raid though? Let's say it was like an activity. Could you see an activity where you could get multiple clans or fire teams, like more? I'm talking full teams of 6 as a fire team. You think in any other area of the game?
So, like, you're just saying 6 or like groups of 6 together?
Groups of 6. So let's call it 2 to 3 groups of 6.
So you're saying like 12 or 18 people?
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
no way. No. I don't. Maybe 12 if they end up coming out with some type of big battle thing or big, goal thing,
Right.
mission or bounty or something. But I don't think you'll see anything like that in the Destiny that we have now. You know what I mean? Like
The servers can't
maybe
even
Destiny
accommodate
2.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it can barely accommodate 12 people playing PvP, let
Right.
alone. But then again, we've said this multiple times. A lot of the PvE content, which is what we're talking about, a lot of the PvE content is actually on servers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not peer to peer like the like the
PvP.
Crucible is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility, I would say, that maybe we'll see a 12-man thing down the road. Definitely not in Destiny 1 or within the next year, but
Yeah.
there might be something that occurs, maybe some type of activity. There's this thing called Battlegrounds and WoW where both sides end up fighting each other at certain times of the day. But
Absolutely.
there was a Battlegrounds area, and we used to love to go there, and just me and David would slay people and capture the flag, and it's huge, tons and tons of people at a time. But as much as I would love to see that type of action, this game really doesn't accommodate that. Can you imagine, dude, your console or this connection trying to render 30 different supers? You know what I mean?
I would probably have to agree with you on that one. I think if it did manage to make its way out for Destiny 1, it would have to be similar to what you were talking about from the first question, like a leaderboard style, where your group of clans could rank versus another group of clans. But
right.
I just, like I said, the servers that we play on for PvP, and even the roster, like when you go in the tower, there's not more than 16 people in that one tower. So that would have to be their limitation for Destiny 1. They're not going to be able to change that quickly. Hopefully, though, for Destiny 2, it will be a thing, because as we look at it, they're starting to become more and more RPG, MMO focused.
Right.
So if that's a thing that we want and the community starts clamoring about it right now, we might see something like that in Destiny 2, but I agree with you. I don't think it can happen in Destiny 1.
But I do have a question for you talking about this is like, do you think that the tower will be the same tower in Destiny 2?
I think it'll be similar. Hopefully it'll be bigger, like you were saying, and
but how do they keep the identity of it if it looks different? If it's bigger, you know what I mean? All of a sudden,
well, there's a lot of space in that freaking tower, and there's a lot of places that we don't actually go visit. So I think if they change out some of the vendors and some of the layout of where things go, it will become more of a social space. Or if you had to do a few more things there that required you to come out of game, I think it would draw more people into the tower.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's going to be super interesting to see what they come up with for these multiple fire teams and raids. I'm not opposed. I'm looking forward to it if it does happen. But we both think that is a distant future, perhaps. So I want to thank you guys for joining us on this episode.
Wait. I gotta tell you something. I got something for you. I mean, I can't come on and not have something for you. So here's something for you to think about. And I'll let you do the math by yourself later on.
Oh, I'm not doing any math.
but here it is, bro. Here it is. So whenever you started Drop the Point, we were at like 44 episodes on Amos's Gaming Podcast, okay? When you started this, you were basically, listen to this, you were 0% life compared to the Amos's Gaming Podcast. You had 0 life. It's like a child was born, a child was born when you're 44 years old. There's 0% of your life.
Yep.
Well, now we're at 50 episodes, and you're at 12% of our life.
Huh.
So if, when we hit 100 episodes and, you're at, another 50, you'll be what, 56? Mm-hmm. You'll be over 50% of our life. How weird is that? that percentage that starts growing.
I can't even think about the percentages.
Do the math, bro.
I'm not doing any of the
you
math.
You can figure that out.
Because as you were saying it, some of it sounded a bit off, but I'll take your word for it that those numbers are right. And 56 episodes or something around there.
Yeah.
Somebody out there that is a math scholar, please check Troy on these facts.
No, this is true. This is true, bro.
I'm going to work on that math, and we will get back to you. I will come back with my answer to that question next week on another episode of Drop the Point. Don't forget, if you like these types of conversations, you can check us out every Friday on twitch.tv/AimAssistGaming, where TwoLoud is the host of Aim Assist Gaming. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you when we see you.
See ya when we see ya.